Why do you want them to listen to your podcast?
So that when they think about starting a business, they've got the content that is pointing them in the right direction.
That is such a valuable piece of advice there.
The change in mindset makes a massive difference.
Welcome to Aussie Lawn Star.
Welcome back, Luke and Linds. We have given everyone a good intro into what your business looks like, but one of the questions that I get asked all the time, how do you get commercial contracts? How do you get a big commercial job when you're predominantly doing residential work? And you guys have really made this your specialty. So I'm going to say people will learn more from you than what they learn from me.
I wouldn't say it's a specialty. I think too is a lot of luck, but also networking.
Not luck, it's hard work.
Yeah, hard work, but a bit of luck and networking. Like you've really got to,
Yes, talk to everyone.
get out there.
Yeah.
Talk to everyone.
Yeah.
And not be afraid to just approach anybody.
Yeah. And like Luke said, he heard on, I'm sorry to say, but the other podcast. And Ben said, fake it till you make it. And Luke took that and rolled with it. And that's
full props to Ben and BJ. I'm friends with them. I don't mind mentioning them. And tell anyone, listen to the Skull Sessions. They're awesome.
I do hear you say the Skull Sessions in the background. And
Yeah, but I think too, the way that you portray yourself as a business, like we go in there with a beautiful big black folder that's got, flyers in there with
Work
photo
cover.
of our commercial jobs and
COC.
insurance certificates, work cover certificates, everything in there, a write up on our business, what we do, what we love,
especially when
we are.
If you want to go into real estate, I know that some people don't like it because they're hard payers, but if you want to go into real estate or strata, they're going to want that information anyway. So if they've got it on hand in front of them, they can enter you into the system. They've got all that stuff there. You're not emailing them at 9 o'clock at night or whatever time you're doing your book work and whatnot. You've got it all in front of them. So they're more likely to just give you a call and say, hey, we've got this. Can you go and quote it for me and send it through? Or they'll just send you a random work order because they've got your folder in front of them and they can see all your details. So,
Yeah, I have not been working for real estates for almost 4 years, and I still get random.
No, we don't like real estate.
Sent to my email.
We don't like real estate work. We do a lot of real estate work, but
it's just this resi.
Yeah, it's still resi, still on the resi side. So, but it can be fruitful for a lot of people. So
there's money to be made there. Yeah. It's great money.
Especially cleanups and lease ends and all that sort of stuff.
So compare my experience to yours and tell me what you think. But I've found with commercial work, it either comes from contacts you already have, so predominantly from existing customers or friends and family connections.
Yes.
Or you've just got to do the same thing as you do with residential work out there initially. You've got to just get your name out there in front of people. So if you know there's some commercial premises around, start letterbox dropping or knocking on their doors and chasing them. It depends how desperate you want commercial work or whether you want it to happen organically.
Yeah. Well, we went past the childcare centre a couple of weeks ago and I said to Luke, oh my God, look at their gardens. And he was like, email them. So I emailed them and then they called me the next week and said, can you please quote all 3 properties? And I was like, so I went around and quoted all 3. I still haven't heard back from him yet. I've emailed him and he said, oh, I'm still waiting on a few other quotes. I don't know, making excuses. But it is that. It's getting your name out there, making sure your signage on your vehicle or your trailer or whatever is, legible. Is clean, is tidy, is your trailer clean, all
the
those
education department. Lindsay got emails from them.
Yeah, from Education Australia to look after some schools here in Adelaide. So but they found us online because we've paid someone a lot of money to do a really good job on our website. So it's all those little things that add up. If you're portraying yourself to want commercial, you'll get it eventually. You might start off with 1 or 2, but you'll get it.
I found sometimes it's the long game. It's sowing the seed, getting your name out there and being patient. And some of the commercial contracts I've chased, I have literally chased for 2 to 3 years. And you might not hear from them for 6 months, and then all of a sudden they give you a call. Can you come and alleviate an employee that's taking compassionate leave, please?
And then it's lumped in your lap and you're expected to do it next week.
I think too, going from a residential side of business to a commercial, you've got to be prepared to wait that 30 days.
or 60 days.
And then the larger the contract, you go from 30 days from end of month. So it's really about knuckling down in those early days if you want to get into that direction, to make sure you've got enough money there to be able to cover you whilst you wait for payments to come in.
Yeah. The other thing there is you're often up against really large landscape companies, landscape maintenance companies when you're quoting on contracts like that. So if you expect to put in a quote where you're estimating from an hourly of $150 to $200 an hour or something like that, and the other guys that are large businesses, they're probably quoting on $75, $80 an hour. So that's what you're up against.
Seen that.
But we've also seen that and have now been asked to it's not a landscape, it's a re-softscape, replanting new irrigation because it was all shit, excuse me. And the fact they want us to do it is because we are a smaller company that it will get that care, the aftercare that they're after,
and because we're
get it
owner operators.
So
there's a lot of wisdom in that. You'll find that a lot of commercial sites will be sick of the large companies where they're just sending out 16-year-old, 18-year-old kids that don't know what they're doing and charging a really low rate. They're like, we want this place to look decent, so we want to know that the owner of the business is actually going to be attending the site.
Yeah, absolutely, or at least overseeing or supervising. But we've had a few contracts like that. That's what the other one is.
We're just waiting for a contract now. It'll be coming through either today or tomorrow. So a new contract. And I said they're probably going to want 2 weekly. And Lindsay's straight away today is like, well, that's just not going to happen. It's going to be weekly. This is how much it's going to be.
Yep.
And otherwise, it won't look how they want it to look.
It won't look the way that you want it.
Yeah.
So that's not going to happen. We're not doing it 2 weekly. Sometimes you have to also put your foot down with these commercial clients as well.
Yeah, Lizzie's got really good at that, getting that toughness into it now and saying, no, if you want it to look really good every week, especially being a new housing development, you need to be there weekly, 2 weekly, and it's going to turn to shit.
Yeah.
So
we will grow pretty big in 2 weeks.
As well as with your employees.
Yeah, it's just one of those things you've got to you have to, because otherwise it comes back to us. It's all looks on our business. We've got utes up there, we've got trailers up there when we are up there. So then when it goes and looks like you've got 2-foot high weeds because we haven't been there for 2 weeks, that's on us.
This confuses me. I don't understand why so many places in Australia they expect lawns to be done once a fortnight or once every 2 weeks.
Where did that come from?
It doesn't make sense. And when you're talking about cutting grass tall or tall for Australia, right? Be compared to America, it's still half the height of what they're doing.
Yeah,
but cutting grass tall and then customers wanting it to be cut extra short so that it will last 2 weeks, and it's like, no, you got the wrong approach.
It's not how it works.
Just getting encouraged.
We had resi customers like that, and I got rid of them pretty quickly because that frustrates me.
Yeah, so I find the better customers are willing to concede that weekly is better and their place is going to look better. It's going to be better than their neighbours' properties. And, for commercial premises, it's just essential if they want it to look half decent.
That's right, yeah. And if they're not going to employ a groundskeeper and they want to do it or want to have a contractor in there, then that's what you're going to get. You're going to have to look after it. It's not going to be looked after every single day. It's not going to be eyes run across it every single day. So
that's right. Yes, it's a bit of a educational experience, I think, for a lot of places. And I would like to see all of Australia go, yep, the majority of lawn care businesses are offering weekly cuts rather than fortnightly cuts.
Yeah. That would hurt us a little bit. We wouldn't be able to keep up, I don't think.
But there's things we can do to manage that, whether it being products we're using on the turf, to slow that growth down. Like, are we happy to spend a small amount of
not small.
It's not real small, but it's not much. But to save us having to mow it that fortnightly, if we can push it out to 4 weekly to once a month by using PGRs,
Yeah.
In those verges. It saves a lot of time.
It's using a small portion of profit to put back into the business to make our life easier.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I can see a number of places that use PGRs to do that, to allow it to spread the cut cycle a little bit further apart. And sometimes I think that makes a lot of sense. And sometimes I sit there going, actually, are you running a business or are you offering a charity?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the fine line that you have to really work out. Are you making enough profit to be able to cover that? Is it going to chew into the business, or is it something that you can say, well, if we put $400 say into PGRs, then we can have $400, $1,000, whatever. We can have $400 worth of Ricky's wages being put into clearing the garden beds or going to another job site or whatever needs doing, but we can still charge for that visit. So
Yep.
Yes, that it's that mental weighing.
Yeah.
That's what site it is as well. Like, not every site you're going to be able to do that. So it is going to be, few and far between that you're going to be able to use a PGR on our commercial sites. So
yeah, true. And I don't use PGR at all myself, but certainly can see that there's benefit on commercial sites, particularly if you're doing a lot of hedge trimming or lawns that are growing too fast. Then
yes, if you can slow them down, why not?
Why not?
Why not? Get them looking fuller, better.
You're
getting that horizontal growth rather than that vertical.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If you're offering customers the best solution, sometimes a PGR will help the health of their lawns or their hedges.
That's right.
Yeah.
There's a lot of benefits to it.
Yeah. I've talked about that with robotic lawnmowers and going, okay, if you cut fortnightly, there's basically 10 days out of the fortnight where that grass is putting all its energy into vertical growth. And if you cut weekly or you put a robot mower on there and it cuts daily, then the majority of energy is going into growing horizontally.
Yeah,
that's right.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So same with the PGR.
I do agree with you. I listened to one of your podcasts last week, I think it was, and you were talking about the robot mowers, and I was like, yeah, that makes total sense. But to me, and I know it's not, I know they're not going to steal our jobs. I know that there's still going to be room for cars. It's fine, but I still
not in this house though.
Yeah. He loves mowing his lawn.
Man.
No, but I just can't get my head around the robots. But I probably need to have a bit more education about them. That's all.
Yeah, look, I'll be the first person to say they're not for everybody. And there are issues with robotic mowers, so they're not perfect. But I've gone from mowing my own lawn with a Walker mower, a Honda HRU 216, and then I put a cylinder mower on it and I was striping it. And then when I got the robotic mower on it, I get to sit back and just throw fertilizer on it.
Yeah.
No. That's my wind down. I love it. Got a beer going. You got your mower out. Love it.
He recently got and I know everyone calls their mowers Jason, but we've called it Jason.
Yeah.
My mower.
My cylinder mower.
Yeah, but he recently just got a cylinder, so he's out there all the time on it. And
we just rented it with obviously Matty from AAA Lawns. He came down. We did it on a Saturday morning, and I did a full rent on the lawn. Brought all his gear down for me because that's not something we do within our business. Is the renovation side of things not regularly?
Yeah.
So Matty's like, let's do it on the weekend. We'll come down. We had Benny's 40th, so he was coming down for that.
Yeah.
So stayed the night. So brought all his gear down, smashed it out in the morning, started drinking beers, and went off to Benny's. So it was great.
Nice.
So good.
Yeah.
A lot of people have been asking about which brand of battery tool to buy, and I don't like to recommend one brand of battery for everyone or every situation. Dealer support and access to parts and service all play a big role in that decision. Some brands have better tools for specific needs or each product category. I've been using a variety of brands, and I endeavour to provide unbiased interviews on Aussie Lawn Stars with as many of those product brands as possible. I reached out to Ego Power Plus through the podcast because of how Barry supports the industry and Ego owners. Barry has impressed me with his loyalty to customers in providing support and listening to the needs of the industry, which has resulted in a full lineup of new commercial tools landing in Australia over the last 12 months that has positioned Ego as a leader in the commercial tool space for outdoor power equipment. Visit egopowerplus.com.au to see if they have the tools you need today. I just bought a Husqvarna battery scarifier 2 weeks ago.
What do you think?
Well, I didn't go out to use it commercially. I just bought it so that I could have one to play around with, and it surprised me how good it is.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So you can swap it between the rake or the scarifier blades, and I've got the scarifier blades on it, and I've just hit my lawn in the areas where the buffalo is getting a bit spongy because the robot only takes the top off it, right? So I've gone, all right, there's a couple of spongy bits there. I'm just going to hit that with the scarifier, knocked it back over the last, so it's probably been a week and a half since I first got it, and then gave it a quick edge where it was spongy, and that's coming through nice and green now without the sponginess. So I'm like,
yeah, nice.
Having the robot Luke, means I get to spend more time doing other things on my lawn.
I know. The problem with ours, though, is the only lawn we have is in the front. So I'm scared someone's
Which is all right, because my lawn's going to be the best this year on the street.
Yeah,
so
it's a big
happy
competition
days.
around here.
Well, I reckon my lawn is the only one on the street that's not full of bindies, so it's not hard.
Well done. It's hard work getting rid of all that.
Not one in my lawn.
No.
It's only a narrow strip beside the road. It's like 2 meters on one side of the footpath and 1 meter on the other side of the footpath, and it's like, doesn't take long to spray the bindies out of it.
Fair. Not amazing. Yeah.
Now I need to grow some, make it grow a bit quicker. Get some wetting agent in there so it keeps moist, because we don't do any irrigation around here.
Yeah, right. Okay. Where are you located?
Near Newcastle, Lake Macquarie.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
So, is there a reason no one does irrigation?
Because we get enough rainfall that we don't need to most of the time.
Oh, fair. Yeah.
But
that makes sense.
With most places, that means your lawn will look decent for most of the time. And with a little bit of organic fertilizer, so dynamic lifter or straight chook poo, my lawn stays green even through most droughts.
Wow.
Yeah. Awesome.
Without
That's
any
great.
Yeah.
The amount of water we'd save.
Yeah.
But there's a couple of spots there where the soil has become hydrophobic, and it's like I just need a good wetting agent there to just make sure the soil
We use Lawn Hub stuff.
Yeah.
Wetter, don't we?
Yeah. We use a granular wetter.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been experimenting with a few things if I can get this patch back to where I want it to be.
Yeah, we like the Lawn Hub stuff. We do a lot of reinstatements of lawns for a company, and we use their lawn starter as well, and their fertilizer, and it's just it's good stuff. We like it.
Well, Lawn Hub's originated in South Australia, haven't they, with Clint?
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
that's hence the
reason.
And we're in obviously Water Pro
all the
time.
all the
so
time.
We've got a great relationship with that company.
Yeah, I've interviewed Clint twice on the podcast.
What's that, sorry?
I've interviewed Clint Adams twice for my
podcast.
Yeah.
Good value.
There you go.
Yeah, so he's down there all the time. Yeah. Which is good. Get to say hello.
Yeah, awesome. So circling back around on this topic of getting commercial contracts, we got a bit distracted.
Yeah, we got a bit sidetracked, sorry. Yeah.
Robotic mowers, and I think there is a good place for doing robotic mowers in commercial contracts too. It doesn't steal your jobs; it makes your jobs better. So, like you were saying, your horticulturist can spend more time doing horticulture instead of just cutting grass.
Yeah. She's
But-
here actually at the moment. She's sitting opposite me.
We'll have to introduce her.
Come here, Ricky.
Come here, Ricky.
Come here.
Come on.
Hello.
Hello.
Ricky's
How you
the
going?
beans of the business.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I think I talked to you last week.
On the phone.
Yeah, on the phone. Yeah, while Lindsay was driving. Yeah, that was me.
Yeah, that's it. So you're the most qualified person in the business then?
Yep.
Oh. No, big boss. Little boss, baby boss.
Yeah.
Very good. So you would get sent out to oversee some of the jobs, I'm guessing, in terms of making sure that with your horticultural skills, you're making sure everything's doing what it's supposed to do.
Yeah, definitely. We have a lot of planting projects and stuff that I have to oversee and things like that and make sure that they're doing the right thing.
Pests and disease.
That's another big thing as well.
Which is huge for the business.
For commercial, it's massive because they don't want to see their trees dying. You know, you've got semi-mature eucalyptus trees that are being planted and, you know, then all of a sudden they get cottony scale or leaf miner or whatever it may be. And so Ricky's really good at identifying that for us, which is great. It's something that I am learning from her, which is amazing as well.
I love the bugs.
She loves the bugs.
Yeah, nice. Now, I think planting mature trees is a challenging experience. You need to have the right background to do that well.
Yeah,
definitely.
I don't have the horticultural background that you do, but I have a large commercial site where I've seen trees that are really struggling, and it's like, okay, what do? I call my employee over who's got a horticultural background. I'm like, tell me what you reckon.
Yeah, 100%.
But that's why you surround yourself with the people you need in your business, the right people, so that they're there for that reason.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know,
like Ben does the lawns and he's great with landscaping and softscaping and that sort of stuff. So we handball that over to Ben, and then Ricky's great with the plants. But she's also a beast on the whip snipper as well. Yeah, I was getting that.
You got to master the whippersnipper in this industry.
Yeah, absolutely, especially when you're on it for 7 hours a day. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the trouble there, and this is interesting one on commercial sites, you could end up whippersnipping all day straight.
So, all day, yeah.
I've found
all day, and there's 4 or 5 of us on site that are whipping all day.
Yeah, I've found it necessary in my business to make my employees slow down a little bit when they're whippersnipping flat out. It's like, all right, you got to make sure you take breaks.
Yes,
that's big thing.
Absolutely, constantly. Right, everyone, take a 10. Go get a glass
some water.
Yeah. Put some cream on. I turn into mum.
It doesn't matter who thinks you're lazy. You have to take breaks.
Yes,
that's what we say. Manage yourself.
Yeah.
Do not think you need to keep going all day without stopping.
But that's the last thing we want. If you don't
take breaks.
Yeah, if you don't stop and have a break, you're not going to be working tomorrow, and I need you tomorrow. So you need to stop.
Yeah.
These guys are really good about that kind of stuff.
That's great. Yeah, about 3 weeks ago, my female employee who's got the horticulture background came to me. She goes, getting really sore in my shoulder at this point. And I'm like, what were you doing? And she goes, I was whippersnipping for about 5 hours.
Yeah.
We only encountered that 2 weeks ago. And she came to me and she said, my shoulder's starting to feel a bit sore. I'm like, fine, get off the whip, go and weed the garden bed. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, there's always something to do. There's always something to do.
That's right. That's the good thing about large commercial contracts is you can go, all right, we don't have to get all the whippersnipping done right now. You can go and do some gardening. You can go and stand on the mower too, or whatever needs to be done.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is getting good on the standard now. So.
Yeah. So how do you enjoy working for a company, Vicky? Ricky?
Careful, Ricky. Careful, Ricky.
No, I actually do love it. Obviously, I had my own business prior to coming over to DLM. They wouldn't let me go anywhere else, and I'm so thankful that I came on board with them because the support is just it's nothing like I've ever had before. You know, we quite literally are like a family. But I know when some people say that, it's a little bit toxic. It's not like that. We're like, this is mum and dad.
I don't very often get the opportunity to interview employees, but I find from my perspective as an employer too, there's a lot of people out there like yourself who find it easier to be an employee working in somebody else's company than to trying to make it work on your own business.
Yeah, definitely. Takes that weight off of my shoulders as well. Especially being so young, I found it really hard to sort of
it is really
assert my dominance in the industry and have people actually listen to me.
Yeah, you hear a lot of female contractors say that. I've heard it in a lot of female contractors that have been on your podcast as well, Gary, too. But sometimes, and if you're not confident enough to push yourself into a male-dominated industry, you can feel a little bit like a bug in a corner. Like you can feel really, there's a lot of weight on your shoulders.
Overwhelming.
Overwhelming. Yeah, for sure. But I think having that backing behind Ricky as well. Yeah.
Being in podcasting, I get lots of statistics and analysis of the type of people that follow and people in the industry, and the numbers I've got suggest that it's about 3% female.
Yeah, that's not surprising. Every female contractor I see in Adelaide, if I've seen you, I've said hello and I've stopped. Like every female contractor I see, I always stop. I'm like, babe, turn around.
In saying that, like we see lots, and we stop, we talk straight away.
Yeah. Always.
Yep. I like seeing how people are faring, how they're traveling.
All generalised, all contractors.
Yeah.
It's a little community, isn't it?
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, well, I do too, and I think there's a lot of room in this industry. You're always going to have a bit of male chauvinism, but there's a lot of room to have fun and muck around and have jokes without being nasty or offensive.
Absolutely, yeah. It is a community.
In saying that, bumped into somebody on Friday at a what do you call it? Fundraising event.
Yeah.
And we used to do maintenance for his landscape jobs. Now, he's branched out and got his own guys for maintenance now. And he said, we're in competition now. And I went, no, we're not. I said, mate, like, there is that much work out there. There is no competition. But I said, welcome. Like,
but also he's sticking to maintenance of his landscapes that he's designed and built, whereas we're more commercial now. So,
it's like there's no competition.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. See, I've got good contacts around me, around Lake Macquarie. I get calls from old customers or new inquiries on a regular basis, and I'm just say, apologise, I can't help you. I can give you somebody else's phone number. And so the other contractors in my area, they're quite happy to go and quote those jobs.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. There's enough of us around who can help each other out. We don't have to be in competition with each other at all.
That's right. Definitely.
Nothing's ever going to stop growing. It's not like we're all just going to have a big drought and nothing's going to grow. Everything's still going to keep growing.
Well, and I do think we need to look at the financial climate. Things could get challenging if we go into a deep recession or depression financially.
But I think that's where by going commercial too, I reckon is a good thing for a business, because businesses, yes, whilst they might tighten down, but they can't have their properties looking like shit.
Yeah, exactly. So I think some of the residential market will drop off. But if you look at the residential market and you go, how many people are looking after the lower end of the residential market? That's probably where things will get tighter. But a large part of the residential market will still need somebody to do their lawns anyway, regardless. They won't be doing it themselves.
Yeah, regardless.
But that's like us too. Like come winter time, if it's raining or we still have to go to site. We still have to do something.
Yeah.
So we're still charging. So we're still making money.
Yeah.
That's right.
It is harder to do that in resi if you're not willing to mow a wet lawn. I know there's lots of contractors out there that are willing to mow wet lawns, but we're not. We don't like to create mess.
Yes, I know there's a lot of contractors that they work every day regardless of the weather. And
regardless of the weather,
And they might stop if the rain is really heavy, but it doesn't matter about what's on the ground. It's about if they're getting drowned by the rain.
Yeah. But each to their own.
Yeah.
That's cool. You do what you need to do
to run your business.
To make it work.
Yeah, my philosophy is make up for it after it stops raining.
Yeah.
Perfect. Work twice as hard, catch up on it all. And, it is what it is, but at least you had a nice day off.
Which is a very rare thing.
Yeah.
It is a rare thing. I've found if you look across the calendar year and you go, okay, it's 365 days in the year. Some people reckon you're only going to work 200 days out of that 365. I'd a little bit more than 200. But if you lose 5% to rain, I'd be surprised.
It's just it can be exhausting. I reckon we work more than 200 days.
Yeah.
Oh, well, truly.
Like 364 days.
Yeah. Be grateful.
Yeah. Hey, it's good. I'm paid by the hour.
Yeah.
This is what we have to deal with.
Yeah. See? Yeah.
They'll keep you honest.
Yeah.
Efficiency is the thing that rules a business and the decisions you make as a small business owner. Right Mowers give you the options in their product lineup to match efficiency with size, fuel usage, and the type of jobs you want to target, from catching to mulching or side discharge, from roadside verges to acreages, and manicured lawns to 6 feet tall and super long. I've been using the Right Stander I 42-inch with a Catch Pro for manicured areas and the Stander ZK61 to maximise productivity for large open acreage mowing. If you need to replace your push mower, try the 32-inch Stander B. If you have more open access to residential properties, there's a 42 through to 48-inch option that suits you. And if you want to enter the acreage market, the 52, 61 and 72-inch machines have choices in engine size and model type to suit the work you want it to do. Right Standards go the distance, saving you time and money season after season.
Thank you for listening to Aussie Lawn Stars. Please remember to rate and review the show on the Apple Podcasts app or the player you use. Exciting new shows are released every Monday. Make sure you follow or subscribe to hear the next episode.